Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal in this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about Steph Curry and how Steph Curry, once again, has exposed LeBron James. How Steph Curry, not LeBron James, has just recently tied Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games after turning 30. Now, once again, these are not, records or a real stat per se, but I found it interesting that Steph Curry has more 40-point games after turning 30 than LeBron James does. And the reason why I found it interesting, because everyone keeps telling me how great of a scorer LeBron James is. Oh, he's the greatest scorer of all time. LeBron James, the greatest player of his era. LeBron James has played over 500 more games than Steph Curry. How does he not have more 40-point games since turning 30 than Steph Curry? That's weird, man. So once again, shout out to Steph Curry for owning LeBron James again instead of in the Steph Curry era. We're going to talk about this video how Steph Curry tied Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games after turning 30. Not LeBron James. Interesting. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states that's been supporting my channel. You guys know I am truly, truly humbled. Like I said, much respect to all you guys that continue to roll with me, continue to come through, donate to the channel, leave messages, emails, everything, guys. Like I said, you guys interact and engage on the polls I put up, the posts. You guys share stories with me, man. All that stuff, guys, it means a lot. Thank you very much, man. Like I said, shout out to everybody in the membership. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, want to shout out Steph Curry in this video. And once again, talk about how Steph Curry again embarrasses LeBron James. And how Steph Curry again continues to prove and show that this is his era. Or maybe not this era, but the LeBron James era was not the LeBron James era. It was the Steph Curry era. So if we say the 2010s, to me, belong to Steph Curry. And Steph Curry's impact continues into the 2020s. They want you to believe that LeBron James' impact is still continuing, right? You see people all the time. LeBron James still a top 10 player at 40 years old. No, they're telling you he's a top 10 player, but he's not really a top 10 player when you watch the games and you see the lack of impact that he has. Versus someone like a Steph Curry, who is still a top 10 player as far as impact goes on the court. LeBron James ain't been a top 10 player in the league in a long time, but they continue to celebrate him that way, right? And I told you guys, in my opinion, the Steph Curry era, or the 2010s was the Steph Curry era. If we want to talk about the 2020s, we could talk about Nikola Jokic, and so far, to me, he's been the most dominant and best player of the 2020s. I don't think there's a question about that. So, we talk about the 2020s, we talk about Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic and SGA, right? Like, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, these are the top players, to me, of the 2020s era, all right? In which we're, halfway through the 2020s era. So, those are those players. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, right? The Kawhi Leonards, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. These guys are the 2010s players, all right? Yes, we know these guys are still playing today. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, because we know the NBA's gone softer, which allows these guys to play longer careers, no doubt. But look at the impact of someone like Kevin Durant, LeBron James last year. They were both negative on the basketball court last year. They both missed a bunch of games last year. Kevin Durant more so. So we talk about the players that are still there from the 2010s, but they're not having an impact like that. They're not the top players in the league, right now. So to me, it's the Steph Curry era of the 2010s. And we talk about, like I said, what I just saw, the article that I saw, what Steph Curry did the other night against the San Antonio Spurs, where he put up, 46 points, I believe it was, in that game. He tied Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games since turning 30. But I told you guys, these are not it's not like a real stat. I'm not celebrating this as a stat for Steph Curry or some kind of record for Steph Curry. What I'm highlighting to you guys here, what I want you guys to understand, is that when they celebrate LeBron James as the greatest scorer of all time, when they celebrate LeBron James the best player of his era, when they talk about LeBron James being the greatest all-around player of all time, and, Michael Jordan wasn't this, or Michael Jordan was that, they knock Steph Curry as not being this or not being that. Steph Curry has got, it was 44 games since he turned 30 of 40 or more points, all right? 44 games. He tied Michael Jordan with his 44th game the other night. Now, when it comes to Michael Jordan and Steph Curry thing here with the 40-point games, we have to obviously understand it and really, come to the terms here that Michael Jordan was doing this in a different era, all right? A much different era. And we also understand that Michael Jordan did not play in as many games after turning 30 as Steph Curry has, because Michael Jordan had the retirements, right? We get all this kind of stuff. He was forced to retire after 98 when he could have continued playing and further these kinds of numbers or these kinds of stats, right? And like I said, Michael Jordan played in a much more defensive era. So the 40-point games are hard to come by in the 90s when your team is scoring 95 points or 100 points. Whereas now, these guys are putting up 140. Like the other day, Lauri Markkanen scored like 47 points. His team scored 150. So, I mean, it's not the same, guys. I'm not knocking that and saying it was trash or I could score 40. I'm just saying, like, it's not the same. There's a difference here. So what Steph Curry did versus Michael Jordan is not the same thing. But we can compare it to LeBron James. They play in the same era. And when we think about this, I want you guys to understand something here. LeBron James, for his career, we know he hasn't played this season, but for his career, he has played in 1,562 games. Steph Curry has played in 1,038. So LeBron James has played in over 500 more games than Steph Curry, but still hasn't had more 40-point games since turning 30 than Steph Curry. Also, we talk about the 40-point games overall. One of the reasons why I'm highlighting the games played here. LeBron James, for his career, guys, has 79 40-point games. 79 doesn't seem like a lot to me. 79 in 22 seasons, 1,562 games. You have 79 40-point games. Doesn't seem like a lot to me. Doesn't seem impressive to me. But anyway, 79, okay. Steph Curry, over 500 games less than LeBron James in his career, has 74 40-point games. So, Steph Curry played over 500 less games, but has 5 less 40-point games than LeBron James. Wow. That shows you right there the difference between Steph Curry and his scoring ability and LeBron James' scoring ability. And don't forget, LeBron James stat pads, stat chases, stays in games late. Steph Curry doesn't do these kinds of things. So the 40-point games that LeBron James got in his career should be way more than that, you would think, compared to Steph Curry. But no, not even close. There's only 5 more than Steph Curry. And let's think about the 50-point games real quick while we're on the subject of scoring and the points. Once again, LeBron James, 1,562 games played. Steph Curry, 1,038 games played. 50-point games in their career. LeBron James, 14. Steph Curry, 15. So how the hell does Steph Curry have one more 50-point game than LeBron James, even though he's played in 500 less games? Levels, guys. That's how. Levels. And once again, Steph Curry isn't playing his own offense, right? He's hogging the ball all game long. Steph Curry plays in an offense. He sacrifices for his teammates, right? Plays in a system. And he's still able to have more 50-point games than LeBron James, playing 500 less games. Wow. And when you see how defenses play against Steph Curry, he doesn't have the physical advantages like LeBron James has. He can't just push guys all over the court and throw guys off him and score. And yet somehow, some way, he's a greater scorer than LeBron James, guys. In his own era. Once again, in his era, that he's dominated LeBron James in all these aspects of the game. So we understand this. To me, Steph Curry makes the people around him better. He gets more out of these guys than LeBron James has because he allows his teammates to play their roles. You guys can come to play with Steph Curry and do whatever you need to do to play your game, i.e. Draymond Green, right? So when we think about that, and like I said, Steph Curry, it's just tied Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games after turning 30. To me, that was impressive based off of how many games LeBron James had played in the NBA. How come LeBron James not on that list? LeBron James should have been past this stuff, but he hasn't scored that many 40-point games since turning 30. He just hasn't. And if you look at his 40-point games overall, he hasn't scored that many overall. I want you to think about this. Steph Curry has 74 40-point games in his career, guys, and 44 of them came after turning 30. After turning 30, all right? So most of his 40-point games came after turning 30. It's pretty impressive. Like I said, when you think about how Steph Curry started his career with the ankle injuries and all the problems, and then he was able to get the health straightened out, the ankles figured out, and just become a sensational player. Like I said, this goes to Steph Curry's greatness and his overall work ethic, his overall game, his overall skills that are much greater than LeBron James' skills. Steph Curry's a much more skilled basketball player than LeBron James. When we talk about dribbling the basketball, it's night and day. Not even close with LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James stumbling and bumbling out there. LeBron can't dribble. He cannot dribble. I challenge, I'm a better dribbler. My son, I don't do this. I don't compare myself to professional athletes, but I'm probably a better dribbler than LeBron James. To me, his dribbling is basic at best. He doesn't have any dribbling moves. He just doesn't have any. And I'm saying this because he's been in the league for all these years. You would have thought by now his ball handling would be a lot more crisp. No, maybe you're not going to be able to have the Kyrie Irving handle or Isaiah Thomas, right? Or the handle of some of these great ball handlers in NBA's history. Calvin Murphy, right? Some of these guys. But damn it, dude. You don't even have basic dribbling skills to me. Obviously, the shooting prowess of Steph Curry is night and day between LeBron James. Night and day. Because I told you guys, because Steph Curry can shoot, because he worked on his shot so much, he's always going to be able to shoot. You can always fall back on your jump shot, no matter how old you are, 30, 40, 50, 60. Steph Curry be 80 years old, still be able to shoot. I told you guys, look at Bob Cousy in that movie, Blue Chips. He was like 60 or whatever he was in that movie. Still knocking down free throws like it was water, like nothing. Like it was nothing. My basketball coach, when I was in high school, he was a great athlete, my basketball coach in high school. He was old-fashioned. He was kind of a pain in the ass as far as, not really allowing you to be creative on the basketball court. Like, he didn't like guys being fancy, but between the legs dribble and whatever. But he was a great athlete. And I remember finding out about him because he was like a local legend, my basketball coach, right? And it was because he was a multi-sport athlete, and he was actually in the Heisman Trophy running in like 1957 or something, my basketball coach. So he was an outstanding football player. I think he was a quarterback, if I remember correctly. But anyway, great athlete. And when he was my basketball coach, he was like in his 60s, right? And I remember he came to practice one day and he started talking to us about our free throw shooting, right? Because we were not a good free throw shooting team. I always had a problem with shooting free throws. It was never something that I felt comfortable doing. I was never like in a routine there, I felt like. And he came to practice one day and he wanted to have like a shooting competition with the team. I mean, this man proceeded to make every damn free throw. I mean, I think he made like 50 in a row almost. It was insane. So the point that I'm trying to make there is that your age is not going to like prevent you from being able to shoot. Like, yeah, maybe you're not gonna be able to run or jump anymore, but your shooting is gonna be there. So Steph Curry at this age, this late in his career, still can shoot the ball lights out. He don't need to drive into people's chests and offensive foul them all over the place and, get a billion free throws to score his points. So shout out to Steph Curry and what he's been able to do over the last, 7, 8, 9, 10 years now that he's been in the league, leading the Warriors and still being able to score at this volume since he turned 30. All right, to me, like I said, at his size, it's impressive, especially when you see the way the defenses try to guard Steph Curry. No one's guarding LeBron James like this because people don't respect LeBron James' game like that. Remember in the finals, they were daring LeBron James to shoot? No one's ever dared Steph Curry to shoot. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you don't want him shooting. That's why they say it's so hard to defend against Steph Curry, because you have to defend him way past the three-point line, essentially, because he'll pull up from those areas. So it extends your defense out. LeBron James allowed to shoot those threes. People like LeBron James chuck them shots up. I told you, in the finals, the Spurs were daring LeBron James to shoot the jump shot. And he still never developed into a jump shooter. Still can't shoot like that. And to me, give me Steph Curry scoring all day, every day. And that's what this is highlighting when Steph Curry ties Michael Jordan for the most 40-point games since turning 30. Like I said, it's the Steph Curry era that LeBron James played in. He played in the Steph Curry era. And now we're in the Nikola Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Luka Doncic era. Those are the guys, man. It's their world right now, not LeBron James' world. Those are the guys right now leading the way. All right? LeBron James, like I said, he's been exposed heavily by Steph Curry. And this is more of the same, man. And like I said, look at the way that Steph Curry excites people. Look at what he does to people in the crowd. Look what he does for his teammates. Like, people are excited playing with Steph Curry. People are not excited playing with LeBron James, man. That joy that you see from some of these guys, it's all fake, man. It's a fake joy. It's almost like you have to be fake with LeBron James so that he don't trade you away, so that you don't get on his bad side, right? That's what it is. The admiration that Steph Curry gets from his teammates, from the contemporaries, is real. It's true. It's authentic. Everything around LeBron James is fake because he's fake. So he brings in fake love, right? That's why he surrounds himself with yes men, not real friends. Yes men. What an idiot, man. You guys know these are facts. Steph Curry's era. Steph Curry continues to expose LeBron James and his fan base. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.